Welcome to another episode on making iced coffee. This time we are going to make coffee using a very cheap coffee. This is a local Thai coffee called Chatramue. Now I have had a few asking me to give a demonstration now on how to use this coffee. This is less than $5 per kilogram. And what are the ingredients in this coffee bag? Well, it says sugar 37%. Then there is a roasted coffee, which is 25%, that's all. And then there is roasted corn, 25%, roasted soybeans, 10%, margarine, 2%, and salt, 1%. But I have tried this coffee. This is very, very popular in Thailand, and most street cafes would use something like this, and they can be quite tasty. So today, I am going to show you how to make coffee using this brand. In Thailand, the traditional way of making coffee using this brand is using an aluminum pitcher and also a tea stalk strainer. Today, I am going to use the French press to brew my coffee. But because the French press sometimes gets sediment, so I would still use the strainer to strain my resulting brewed coffee to make sure that it is very clean. Okay? Now I'm going to start with the proportion. What is the proportion that we should use to brew this coffee? According to the packaging, you need 10 grams of this coffee for every 150 milliliters of water. 150 milliliters of water is good for about 16 ounces cups, but today I'm going to make them in 22 ounces large cups, and I am going to use my proportion. For 1 liter of brewed coffee, if we follow the packaging, we need about 60 to 70 grams of coffee. But I'd like this to be very concentrated, so I'm going to use 100 grams of this coffee, Chatramue coffee, into my French press. And I'm going to put all my 100 grams of coffee here. And I'm going to fill this with 1 liter of water because this French press is a 34 ounces or 1 liter of brewed coffee. So I'm going to put 1 liter, that's 1 cup, and another cup that is equal to 4 cups. The French press method uses the immersion method, so it should be very strong. Normally, if you're making hot coffee, I would suggest that you steep it about 4 to 5 minutes, but because we're making iced coffee, you can steep it for longer. So I am going to steep this for about 10 minutes. If you're wondering if you can use any other coffee, then you can also use the same proportion, 100 grams to 1 liter of hot water if you're going to hot brew it. And you can also use cold brew method. That means the same proportion of coffee, 100 grams, and also 1 liter of water. If you are going to use the cold brew method, then you refrigerate it for about 12 to 18 hours, and you should get a strong coffee. And the recipes will be the same. If you're going to make iced coffee using a French press, then I would say that you use a strong blend of coffee, dark roast if you can, and even a blend of Arabica and Robusta. Whilst waiting for our coffee to brew, I'm going to make my milk syrup. What is milk syrup? It's a combination of condensed milk and evaporated milk. This is perfect for iced coffee. Remember that iced coffee are desserts, so you'd like it to be a little bit sweeter and richer and creamier. Okay, now this gives you all of those ticks there. I have here 300 ml of condensed milk, and I'm going to add 150 ml of evaporated milk. Okay. Now, for those of you that do not know how long does a milk syrup last, well, refrigerated, it can last up to about a week. Evaporated milk and condensed milk have longer shelf lives. Once the cans are open, it doesn't last as long as the shelf life indicated on the packaging. If you have a coffee shop, just make enough for you to use for about 3 days. Do not make too much. You can always make this. This is very, very easy. And if you're only making 1 drink at home, you can just simply use evaporated separate from condensed milk. Okay, let's start making our coffee. Our first drink, it is iced black coffee in 22 ounces cup. 120 or half a cup of my brewed coffee. Sugar syrup, 2 ounces or 60 ml. Now, this might be too sweet for some, but with this kind of drink, because it's not exactly a premium coffee, the sweeter, the better. Okay, so stir, and then you're going to add another 120 milliliters or half a cup of water. 1 cup of ice. I might need a little bit more later. And now pour my drink over. And this is my iced black coffee using Chatramue. For our next drink, it is going to be iced latte or caféine. I'm going to need 180 milliliters of my black coffee, ice. You can put the ice first and then decide if you need to fill it up with more ice later. Add your coffee, milk over. I need 75, so I need 15 ml more. There you go. Now you can serve it like this, or you can stir it. And it is looking really, really dark. Okay, and that is your iced latte. Our next drink, it is iced mocha. 180 milliliters of my brewed coffee. A lot of coffee there. And for this, I am going to add 45 ml of my milk syrup. Now this time, I am going to mix them well before I pour it in my cup. Ice. What I'm going to do is, instead of mixing it with my drinks, I'm going to use this as walling for my cup. Okay, let it cascade down. I'm just going to scrape it so that I get all the goodness there. I don't want to leave anything. Simple iced mocha. Because there's a lot of sediments in my French press coffee, I am going to pour it into another container here using a tea sock strainer. It's time to make our fourth drink, which is iced caramel macchiato. I need 6 ounces or 180 ml of my brewed coffee. This time I'm quite confident there is no more sediment. Okay, and then I am going to add my milk syrup. Stir. Now, in the same way that I made my iced mocha, I'm not going to add my caramel sauce in the drink. Instead, I'm going to use it to decorate my cup. Okay, just fill your cup to the top with ice. Use my caramel sauce as my walling. Smelling so good, the caramel. And now to pour my coffee over. Iced caramel macchiato. Very simple and very easy to make. Final drink, it is iced cappuccino. 180 milliliters of brewed coffee. This time I'm going to use less milk syrup, so it is less sweet than your regular latte. You want the coffee to be a little bit stronger here. So stir. For this, you don't have to fill the cup to the top with ice, because we are going to put a milk foam over to make it a cappuccino. Okay, pour your blend over. You can use a milk foam, or you can use a whipped cream on top. And to finish it off, we're going to put some sprinkles of chocolate powder on top. Iced cappuccino using Chatramue coffee. Who would have thought that these drinks came from this brand, which is less than $5 US? That is really, really very cheap. But in Thailand, it is actually about less than $3 US. But if you buy it outside of Thailand, because of the shipping, it might be more expensive. Now, how do they taste like? Wow, it's got that very, very roasted taste. It's almost like burnt taste, but it's a smoky taste. If you want to make it sound better, it's got a smoky taste. It tastes very sweet for me, but this is how iced OLIANG or black coffee is served in Thailand. Now this is caféine or iced latte. The color is absolutely better than even those that you make from, or that we make from the espresso machine. Very dark. How does it taste like? Very mild, just like milk tea of coffee. Okay, delicious anyway. Cappuccino, it looks so good because of that whipped cream. This one should be less sweet because we put less milk syrup in here, but we balance it with the cream and also the chocolate powder on top. Now, if you don't have whipped cream, because if you're going to serve this kind of coffee, whipped cream is probably out of the question, you can also use a milk foam. Now, if you don't know how to make milk foam, do check my video link above, okay? Now, I like this better because it is less sweet, okay? I love the caramel taste. It covers up the taste of the coffee. It's almost like just a caramel drink. Mocha. I really love mocha. Now, I think because of the chocolate note of this brand of coffee and also the chocolate syrup that I added in here, it is somehow the perfect blend. So I would drink this and probably the cappuccino and the black coffee as my 3 favorites for this 5 different types of iced coffee drinks. The caramel macchiato and also the latte is a little bit too sweet for my taste, but then it really depends on your own personal preference. Now remember that you can also use the same recipe even though you are not using this brand of coffee. If you are using a local brand in your area, you can also try this recipe. You can use hot brew or cold brew, and you can use the same proportion of milk that I use in these recipes. If you have any questions about these recipes, do let me know, comment below. Also, don't forget to check out my books, All Things Milk Tea and The Basic Barista. All these recipes are also in my book in 3 different cup sizes, 12 ounces, 16 ounces, and these 22 ounces, so do check it out. Details on how to order in the description box below. In the meantime, stay safe, take care. Thank you for watching. Ciao for now.